Bonjour, and welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, a podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. My name is Michael Lyons, and I am the creator of BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. And today's live stream is called Behind the Scenes with a Rockstar Cartoonist. And I thought today I would just kind of share what it looks like from my perspective when we put on the BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO podcast. This is the green screen. This is NANABOOZHOO. Ikadon BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. Hoka hey BOOZHOO. And welcome back to the show. Hey everybody, welcome to Behind the Scenes of BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. You see, children, Michael Lyons here. He's what they call a ventriloquist. You see, a ventriloquist, when they speak, they never move their lips. Show them how it's done, Michael. Yeah, awesome. So, all right, let's switch the camera and see if this works. Okay. Bonjour, and welcome back to the what are you doing here? What do you mean? I didn't know you were going to be here today. I'm here every day, silly. Yeah, I know. How you doing, baby doll? I'm doing great. You ready to do a live stream? Yeah, you bet. We're doing a behind the scenes with a rockstar cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Hey, Kadon Bonjour, Michael Lyons. Say hello. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. And today, and ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and the talented Natasha. Ekadon Bonjour, ni wini mushen. Say hello, my sweetheart. Bonjour, Gakita Awia. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Today's Ojibwe word of the day is, sweetie, did you know today is Thursday? Or as we call it in gibberish, Ojibwe, yeah, we call it Neo Gijagud, the fourth day. Neo Gijagud, the fourth day. And tell me, Niwini Mushain, why do we call it that? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. You see, children, Monday is known as the first day. It's the first day of the work week, really. Some people call it the day after prayer day, Ishkwa Anama E Gijagud. But a lot of people just call Monday Bejigo Gijagud, first day. And then they call Tuesday the second day, Nijo Gijagud. But Wednesday, they call that halfway, Abatuse. So then when we finally get to Thursday, it's the fourth day. Neo Gijagud, fourth day or Thursday. So I was really excited to teach that word. Were you really? Yep. But almost as much as I want to go outside and talk to the birds. You want to go Agua Ching? Yep. Can you lock on my coordinates and teleport me Agua Ching? Agua Ching, outside. I'm going to go step outside and say bonjour to the Beneshi Yug. Go say hello to the birds. Maybe I'll put out some tobacco and say a little prayer. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Agua Ching, outside. I was on the outside looking inside. And go say hello to the birds. Beneshi Yug. Beneshin is a bird, a single one. But you got to add that Yug if it's a whole flock of seagulls. Beneshi Yug. All right, sweetie pie. Let me lock it on your coordinates. All right. And that's 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. Nah. Look at it out here. Agua ching. Outside. Hey, bonjour, Beneshiyug. Hello, birds. I was just talking about you. That you're our Ojibwe word of the day. Beneshiyug. Oh, a little bird told me. Yeah, you guys are always spreading rumors and that. Beneshiyug, birds. Agua ching. Outside. And sometimes when I'm outside here with the birds, you know, I like to offer a little tobacco to the Creator and when I say my prayers. And when I do that, I say, whoops, that's how I end my prayer. When I begin my prayer, I grab just a little asema, a little tobacco, and I'll say, hey, BOOZHOO, get your manado. Hello, Great Spirit. Odapanan, niwi, asema. Asema. Accept my tobacco. And then I'll just pray. Sometimes I'll pray in Ojibwe. Miigwech, kaiji kakina gegu, kaiji chikea nungom. Thank you for everything that you do today. But sometimes I just talk to him in English. Because I know he understands every language. He's multilingual. So, you know, I just come out here and I'll say, hey, what's up? You know, when I was younger, and I think this is because, you know, they knock you over the head with what a sinner you are if you go to church. And I was making you feel guilty for just being a regular boy, you know. I spent a lot of my time apologizing for, you know, the way I was. I'd be like, oh, please forgive me for my sins. Forgive me for stealing my dad's Playboy. Forgive me for looking with lust upon my dad's Playboy. Forgive me for, you know, I can't believe you were watching. You know, and, you know, you spend your whole life just, oh, I'm so sorry. But when I got older, I realized, you know, you don't want that. You know, they tell you he loves you and that he's also kind of mad at you. No. He loves you more than you love anybody. But picture how much you love the person you love the most. You know, the person you can't love more. That's how God feels about you. He doesn't, and you wouldn't want the person you love most to every time you say they called up and said hello, that they started, look, I'm really sorry. I should have been a better person. You know, no. You don't need that. So I quit apologizing in my prayers, and instead, usually I just start thanking him for stuff. Miigwech. Miigwech, thank you. Miigwech gaiji bamadaziyan. Thank you for my life. Miigwech ga my eyesight. Miigwech ga my hearing. Miigwech ga my body. Miigwech, you know. And when you start getting like that, that's when you're sort of getting spiritual. You know? That's when you're getting humble. It ain't all about, oh, look at me, I'm the greatest creator in the world. No. Just because you make a YouTube channel don't make you a great creator. The creator is a great creator. He invented YouTube. But, you know, so I start listing a lot of things I'm thankful for. And the weird thing is, if you're at all happy with where you are today, maybe it's not perfect. Maybe you still need a little more money. Maybe you still don't have any friends. You don't got a girlfriend. Maybe there's a dream that you're hoping will work out, but you kind of don't think it will. And it bums you out that, doggone it. Why can't I just be a baseball player? You know, I love to play baseball. Why won't they let me be a baseball player? You know? But you're getting older and you're thinking your dream's never going to happen. Well, hang on. Thank him for everything that brought you to this point. Tell him if you're wrong about your dreams. Tell him to wake you up to what your real dream is then. What is it you really want to do? Or tell him to take away your fear and your doubt and your confusion. Say, dude, thank you for all this and taking me this far. And I feel like I'm not quite there yet. So, give me a hand. And here's a good one. I tried this. This actually works. And it's weird. I don't know how to explain how it works. But in the Gagekwe Mazina Igan, in the preach book, or no, Anama E Mazina Igan, in the prayer book, in the Bible, the Bible, it says in there, if you pray when using the Lord Jesus Christ's name, knock and the door will be open. Seek and you shall find. They're very explicit about it. So if any of it's true, maybe all of it's true. And I tried this once. I prayed and I wrote it down. I said, I don't even understand. But I pray in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. Please. And I asked out my requests. Well, it didn't happen immediately. It took about a day and a half. And sure enough, the clouds separated, my spirits lifted, stuff started working out. And I went, oh wow, that really works. I might have to remember that next time. So go out and pray. Seek and you shall find. And then whenever I finish my prayer, I always try to remember to thank him for listening, I always say, Miigwech gabizan dawiyeg. Thank you for listening. Ape and gay. Amen. And then I'll just sprinkle a little tobacco and call it good enough. And this has been Praying with your Uncle Nanaboozhoo. I don't know. What do you birds think? That sound kind of reasonable. You know what I haven't prayed for? More viewers. Yeah. I mean, we got one viewer right here who's not saying anything in the chat, but I don't know. I'm embarrassed. Even though I kind of feel like we lost all our viewers 4 months ago, that almost feels like a spiritual attack. But now that I'm back, I kind of feel like, well, where is everybody? Yeah. Hey, Ethan's here. Bonjour, Ethan. Beneshiag, Ethan's here. Yeah. The birds say hello. All right, well, I'm going to go back. But I'll see you again. Yeah, no, I'll come back tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. Kigawaba min. Minowa. I will see you again. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Bleep, bleep. Bleep, bleep. Bonjour. Hi, sweetie. You ready to come home, Nanaboozhoo? Yeah, would you pick me up? You got it. And let's see, that's 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. No. Hey, baby doll. Oh, hi. How was it outside? Oh, it was great. Was it? Yeah. Did you talk about behind the scenes with a ROCKSTAR cartoonist? Didn't even mention it. I just prayed to God. I didn't want to ruin the illusion, you know. Well, I think we should switch over and show him what it looks like. Really? Yeah. Michael, you wanna say hello to the crew? Yeah, sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Behind the scenes with the rockstar cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Take it away, Niji. Hey, everyone. So that was Act 1 of BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. And Jim's here. BOOZHOO, Jim. How you doing? Get a sip of water or a sip of coffee. So today was, I just thought I'd do something a little different and put up a camera to show you backstage. This is what it looks like from my perspective. The other day I had the Michael Lyons puppet up, and he was showing all the different voices that we do on the show. And I thought it might be kind of fun if I were to talk about the voices. So number one, you just saw me do NanaBOOZHOO. Later on, you'll see me do Natasha. And what was interesting about Natasha was that I started doing her voice, and then her personality kind of came out after I decided on the voice. You know, she has a very high falsetto voice, but a very sweet and she has no, like, she doesn't think she doesn't have a low self-esteem, but she's completely without any kind of pretense. But on the show, from time to time, celebrities will call in. Celebrities like Sylvester Stallone. And the voice I use for Sylvester, I was talking about the other day, is kind of a standard Italian guy who's a little punch drunk. Hey, yo, listen, NanaBOOZHOO, I'll tell you something you already know. Also, when I'm doing the voices, I have to do a face. So, like, I'll be up here doing NanaBOOZHOO, but then when Sylvester Stallone calls in, even though you can't see my face, I'm doing the Sylvester Stallone face. When Natasha talks, my eyes are big. I'm like, NanaBOOZHOO, oh my God. You know. So that's Sylvester Stallone. I also love it when he calls in because he always gives the same sort of inspirational speech. You know, it ain't about how hard you can hit. I don't care how tough you are. You, me, ain't nobody gonna hit harder than life. But it ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about whether or not you can take the hits and keep moving forward. You know. And he's got a little bit of inner ear damage. You know, he pronounces forward. You gotta keep moving forward. You know, and he's not drunk, but he's been punched too much. So, you know, sometimes his brain it don't work so good. As opposed to my other favorite is David Bowie. Hello, my name is David Bowie, calling from beyond the grave. And it's not so much, he has a slight English accent. I'm really not very good at English accents, but I am quite good at capturing. When David Bowie would be interviewed, he was always quite polite and so utterly confident because he knew he was great. So whenever David Bowie calls in, he's very polite, but he's very confident at the same time and quite soft-spoken. So that's fun. Rolf the dog from the Muppet Show. Anytime I can get another Muppet on the show, it's nice because visually it looks cool to have more Muppets. But Rolf the dog is just a gruff, very heterosexual MGTOW. He's a man going his own way. Stay away from women, that's my motto. I come home, I have a couple of beers, take myself for a walk. I tickle the ivories on the piano, but I stay away from women. And but at the same time, he's always talking about girls. Michael Jackson, I stole the South Park version. No, that's ignorant. I'm Michael Jackson. Hee hee, Shamoa. So whenever he calls in, Nanaboozhoo, what's your Jet Boy word of the day? Allegedly. You know, he's got like a childish, spoiled, just utterly crazy, but then just uses hee hee, Shamoa. Just as like commas in the sentence, or just a tagline. So you always remember it's him. Oh, the Dalai Lama. I particularly love mocking sacred characters. You know, sure, everybody does the presidents. You know, Donald J. Trump. Or, yeah, listen here, Jack. No fooling. Whatever. But mocking like the Pope and Dalai Lama, I really enjoy it. And again, I love this picture because it's a thumb. It's a thumb that somebody drew this likeness, and it looks so much like the Dalai Lama. It's eerie. But when he calls up, nobody except Natasha can understand him. He'll call up and he'll be like, hello. And she'll be like, oh, the Ojibwe word of the day? Well, sure. Today's Ojibwe word of the day is... because I've always had this thing, I've never trusted him. Because he speaks with... I don't trust people who can't pick up the accent of their new language. Like I don't know what his first language is. He left Tibet when he was a child. That was probably... Did they speak Tibet? Did he speak Chinese? I don't know. But then he grew up and lived most of his life in France. Started Buddhism in America, basically. And for decades now has been speaking English, writing in English, giving talks, being a religious cult leader of Buddhism. And you can't understand a word he's saying. It's hilarious. Happy life. And Natasha would understand that he just said, to live a happy life, one must live in the present moment. So the other characters who are like that are also when, what's his name? Keith Richards calls in. Keith Richards has, only Natasha can understand him. He'll be like, and Natasha will be like, oh, I don't know. What do you think, Nanaboozhoo? And he'll be, what do you say? But, and one time I think Bob Dylan called in. He's another one of those, I don't trust him because I can't understand him. But, of course, nobody's more important to the show than Kiss. So when Gene Simmons calls in, he's always, oh, yeah! Well, all right. This is Gene Simmons of Kiss. When Gene Simmons speaks, he's always promoting himself. And he has never introduced himself without reminding us that he's in a band called Kiss. So he calls in, not nearly as often as Paul Stanley, my personal hero. When Paul Stanley calls in, he's like, hey, Nanaboozhoo, how you doing? How you doing? You know, sometimes he's got like stage voice even when he calls people. And he's really excited about the show. He loves the show. He watches it all the time. Paul Stanley has a slight lisp, and he's missing an ear in real life. He's deaf, and he only has one ear. And in some of his early songs, you can kind of tell he has a little bit of a guy who's hard of hearing. There's a certain tenor to their voice, and he's also got a New York accent. He doesn't really have a lisp, but I gave him a lisp. And sometimes I make him kind of, in the 80s, Paul Stanley was pretty flamboyant. And so, when I put it all together, he'd be like, "Hey, Nanaboozhoo, I want to rock and roll all night and party every day." You know? So, that's always fun. And lots of times you'll see the Paul Stanley action figure in the background, and Nanaboozhoo will refer to the action figure who has an exchange just standing on the shelf. It's pretty hilarious. And these are just some of the characters you might see on BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. Now, here's one more little behind the scenes thing. There are two types of Muppets. I know that's a copyrighted term that only refers to Jim Henson puppets. But a Muppet, and this is why Jim Henson's actually a genius, not so much the characters he created. Now that I've done this for a while, I figured out how to get a drink. I realized he could have done a lot more with his characters than he ever did. I mean, he made movies and he had a TV show. And, you know, in the end, Ernie and Bert's characters never really became anything. But Jim Henson's a genius because he perfected the mouth puppet thing. Before Sesame Street, there were puppets. There were sock puppets and there were ventriloquist dolls where you pulled a string to make their mouth move. But this wasn't very popular. He took a lot of time and created, and the video is part of it. The art form of puppet shows, when TV became in every household, transformed too, and Jim Henson was there for that. So I love Jim Henson. Where was I going with this? Oh, but there's two types of Muppets. Muppets who have hands that can grab stuff. Oh, that's really good. Really good. Muckety mushkiki waboo. Nah. Or there's Muppets like Kermit that have little hands stuck to a wire. I have one right there. To a wire or a stick or whatever. And Nanaboozhoo and Natasha are, or Ernie and Bert, basically the two types. Ernie has hands, Bert doesn't. Nanaboozhoo and Natasha have hands. Michael and Emily don't. I mean, they have hands, but they're like Bert hands. All right, so back to the show. You ready to start? Yeah, whenever you are. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's return to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. So then I said, "Oh, calm down. They're just pancakes." She sure made a big deal out of just pancakes. Yeah. But what a story. I know, huh? Oh, didn't you guys, you weren't here for that story? I'm not going to repeat it if they're not going to listen. How you guys doing? Sweetie, Jim Dunn's here. Well, BOOZHOO, Jim. How you doing, Niji? BOOZHOO, hello. So, yeah, Michael's been talking about the behind-the-scenes stuff and all the voices and stuff that goes on. Hey, speaking of voices. Yeah. You want to take a call? Well, sure. I'll take a call. Line 2? Yep, line 2. Hello, caller. Welcome to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. You're on the air. Hey, yo, NANABOOZHOO. It's me, Sly Stallone. Hey, Rocky. Sweetie, it's Rocky. Well, hey there, Rocky. Hey, yo, you can call me Sly. Oh, sorry, Sly. Hey, how you doing, Natasha? I'm doing great. How are you? Hey, you know, I'm not too bad, not too bad. How about you, NanaBOOZHOO? You doing all right? Hey, you know, I'll be honest with you, Sly. Oh, what's the matter? You tell the Italian stallion your problems. Well, I don't understand it. The live stream show has just bit the dust. For whatever reason, I don't know what we did. I suspect Michael did something not on purpose. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did something stupid, but I don't know what. Or the bad spirits, because we also lost our Facebook page. That's half of it. Yeah, we had thousands of followers that don't see the videos anymore. That's probably half of it. But I've been feeling kind of down, because our show is not doing so well. The people have stopped watching. We'll do a video and I'll put it up on Facebook and on YouTube and that, and we'll get like 8 people. I'm like, okay. It's been 4 years of this. We can't just keep doing a show for 8 people when YouTube's got the potential for unlimited. It's basically just a crapshoot. Here's a TV show. You want, And for a while there, for 4 years, we saw our show steadily grow in popularity until we could kind of count on every show having about 100 viewers. Every day. Just, there'd be 30 to 40 people with us live. And then by the next time we came on, there'd be another 30, 40 people watched out in YouTube land. And I don't know if we offended somebody in the algorithms by talking about making fun of, Bruce Jenner. That's Caitlyn. I mean, Caitlyn. Yeah, I don't know. You made fun of the vaccination, too. Yeah, I made fun of that. But it didn't seem to happen then. It seemed to happen just this summer, this last spring. The Facebook page went down and I couldn't get back on. Michael fell apart. Natasha. I don't know. Hey, listen, NanaBOOZHOO. I'm going to tell you something you already know. What's that? Life, it ain't all sunshine and roses. Yeah, I know. I don't care how tough you are. Me, you, nobody's going to hit harder than life. Yeah? Yeah. But it ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about whether or not you can take the hits and keep moving forward. Really? You got to be able to take the hits and keep moving forward. You can't be going around blaming other people for your problems, pointing your finger at Facebook, pointing your finger at YouTube, pointing your finger at the BOOZHOO crew. That's loser talk! And that ain't you! You're better than that! Yeah, you're right. You gotta pick yourself up. You know why I tell you this? Why? 'Cause that's how winning's done. Yeah, you're right. Whatever. Sometimes this happens. I remember there was a time I had to go toe-to-toe with Apollo Creed. Yeah? And, it wasn't about whether or not I won. I'm going to tell you something. You already know. What's that? The first time I fought Apollo Creed, I lost. I tried my best. I tried my hardest. And I fought my heart out. But in the end, I lost. He won the big match. I lost. But I didn't lose because I kept moving forward. Yeah, no kidding, huh? You got to keep moving forward. So then I made a what they call that, the sequel. And then I made Rocky 3. And then I had to fight a Russian. And then I had to bury my wife. And then bury my trainer. And then bury Clubber Lang or whoever. And then pretty soon, everybody died. So I had to keep moving forward. And now my kids, now the Apollo Creed's kids in Rock, I don't know what's going on anymore. But the important thing to remember is you kept moving forward. Yeah, man. Yeah, that is why I love that movie. Yeah. What else can I do for you? I was wondering if you wouldn't mind teaching me the Ojibwe word of the day. Oh, sure. Today is the Ojibwe word of the day. That one's boring anyway. Let me move you down, Sly. Agua ching, outside. Agua ching, outside. You know, that's where I like to go running in the morning. I get up, I drink a glass of eggs, and then I go for a run. Agua ching. And then I hear that music and it really pumps me up. You mean da 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 la dee da. Yeah, we love that song. Yeah, it's all right. And what's that other big word? Oh, this is Beneshi Yug. Beneshi Yug. And that means birds. Yep. Here's my take on birds. What's that? All birds are outside birds. What do you mean? You could have a bird as a pet. Yeah, but you end up hating it. Birds don't want to be inside. They don't want to be in a little cage. Birds aren't pets. I don't care if you love your bird and you think and you feel bad when your bird dies and they live for 75 years. Yeah. But don't be having a bird for a pet. What if you're a pirate? If you're a pirate, you can have a bird for a pet because it rides around on your shoulder. Or a falconer. Falconer can have a pet bird. Otherwise, no more of this. You got some weird parakeet in a cage. No. It's bad enough we got fish in a tank. That's cruel. Yeah, huh. All right, Rock. I gotta get going. Anything else I can do for you? Hey, yeah. How do you say goodbye in Ojibwe? Well, you know, we don't really say goodbye, Sly. We say I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minawa. Hey, yo, gigawabamin, minawa, nanaboozhoo. Gigawabamin, minawa. Yeah, you too, buddy. Sly Stallone. He's so awesome. Yeah. Have you seen his new reality show? With his daughters? Yeah. No, but Facebook thinks I care. Yeah, me too. Facebook keeps showing me pictures of Sly Stallone with his adult daughters. Apparently he's doing a reality show now. Like he needs the money. I think he might need the money. Because his wife took all his money. Probably. I bet his expenses are a lot every month, too. I don't think he lives in that little apartment anymore. No, he's probably got a mansion. Yeah. This is the other thing I thought was sort of suspicious. What's that? Remember how I got those pictures of President Biden on the beach? Yeah. Why do rich people go to the beach? I don't know, to relax. What is relaxing about going to the beach? No old 80-year-old man who has a pool. Why do the people have pools? Number one, it was a terrible optics. You got the leader of the, not the free world, but leader of the United States looking just next to death. You should never see your president shirtless unless he's riding a horse like Vladimir Putin, who's got a name and a chest that screams Russian leader. Riding a horse, no less. In pants. Long pants. He wasn't dragging a little beach chair that sits really low to the ground. Oh, yeah, I'm the president of the United States. I'm going to sit in the sand 10 feet away from the waves that are roaring, and wind is blowing so fast it will tear down umbrellas that are you have to drag out to block the 90-degree sun. The sand burns your feet. There's nothing worse than a day at the beach. You know, they're always saying, oh, it was a real day at the beach. No. And he has a pool. He's famous for swimming naked in his own pool. Well, rich people, if they have a pool, that means they have a pool guy. That means they spend upwards of $1,000 a month on pool maintenance, water, electricity, the pool lights, all the crap, you know. And you're not going to go out there and take a swim in the pool because they want the Pavarotti or whatever, the camera guys. And why do we still have those guys? Everybody has a cell phone. We don't need a professional photographer to take a picture of the president. So, I'm done with that. I'm with you, baby doll. Thank you. I appreciate your support. You can always count on Natasha. Yeah. Hey, speaking of counting on you, you know one of my favorite songs that you and Emily sang is? The one we're about to play? Yep. The one you can never remember the name to? Yep. Here's a song.
As I sat in the street alone, standing in the shadows, wondering why I'm not at home. I sit and contemplate my thoughts and feelings about you, wondering what it is I do that makes you so confused. Then the light in the street turned out on me, and the moon in the sky shines down on me.
So this is a song I recorded with two friends when I lived in Boulder, Colorado. And this was like the end. It was like in 2002 or whatever. So recording a CD was still a thing for little local bands like ours. And there were still people who had fancied themselves recording artists. Like studio people. They had invested in the equipment and set up a little recording place in their house. And there was a guy in Boulder, whose name I don't remember, who charged us, I think, $300. I think each of us had to come up with for an hour of recording time. And that would have drained me at the time. $100. I never had more than $100 at a time in those days. And but we pulled the money together, figured out where this guy lived, and the three of us and our guitars and everything got my little Honda Civic and drove to his house, which was 3 miles straight up the most steep incline I had ever known. And it was a snowy Sunday night, and I was terrified getting up there because the roads were slippery. I had bald tires. We got up there. We recorded. This was a live take.
Guiding
This one was Natasha.
nature center.
But And we recorded, I think, 8 songs in 1 hour. Just set up the stuff. We had practiced the songs and had polished them so completely that we were ready. And each of us was like at the top of our game for what we did. I was the rhythm guitar player, and took it serious and was playing a lot in those days, and had been playing with the other guitarist, Clint Carlson, for a couple of years by then. He played lead. I guess you can't hear that. And Shauna Heckman was a 19-year-old girl, not much experience being in a band or anything, but was just so naturally talented as a singer, and wrote all the lyrics and spontaneously came up with the melodies and the chorus on her own. And it turned out really well, and now I still use those songs. So, anybody else here? Curtis Mills. Bonjour, Curtis. Good to see you. We're doing a behind-the-scenes live stream today. And I've been crying around that I don't know what happened to our audience. I do know what happened to our audience. I don't know why it happened, but 4 months ago I got locked out, or just was being hassled by Facebook with security questions, and I couldn't get into my Facebook account. And by not being able to get into my Facebook account, I also wasn't able to get into the BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO Facebook page where I always posted these. And I kind of ignored the BOOZHOO Crew Facebook page, where it was just a fan page. And now 4 months later, people have lost interest in the show. But we're still here. Yeah, we are. But I've been crying around that aren't more viewers. And yet, yesterday, I released a video talking about my books and the puppet version of me. And just overnight, 94 people were like, watched it, which is good for us. All right. Back. Hold on, we got to do something here. All right, here's the camera. I'm going to flip it before we go back live. So that's also why we play so much music on the show, is that it gives me time to switch out the puppets and to change the background so that when we're ready, we're ready. It's time to start the music. My shirt is really pink. It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational. You're not singing with me. I wanted to do harmonies, but then I was too shy. You were too shy? Yeah. I didn't want people to judge me too harshly. Yeah, huh? It's hard to get up here and just sing in front of people. To talk in front of people, you know. I'm a little Indianish myself. Do you guys know what that means? Indianish? Lots of times they call girls like me girls who just want to fade away into the shadows. Just be a little wallflower. I don't like people looking at me. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I never tell jokes. I don't sing and dance. No. Okay, but girls, nothing like me. But you all know those girls who, when they giggle, they cover their mouth. Hee hee hee. Hee hee. And they never like to be in the center of attention. They call that being Indianish. But I don't know. I kind of feel like that's being self-conscious. If you're like this, you might be suffering from... Do I want to get into this? Anytime you say that, you always do. Yeah. You might be suffering from narcissistic abuse. Without going too deeply into what is narcissism, I came to a realization recently. In fact, sweetie, let me go outside and talk about this. Okay. I gotta pray on it. All right. I'm gonna step. What's the word? Agua ching? Agua ching. Agua ching. Outside. And that's one to teleport. Make it so, number one. No. Oh, agua ching. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah, narcissistic abuse. That's a fancy way of talking about your toxic family or your bully of a older sister or your bully of a brother or just the crappy way human beings talk to each other. And lots of times we're the worst offenders. They call it teasing. And I used to excuse everybody's teasing. Even though I didn't really do it myself. My teasing was always kind of a backhanded compliment. I mean, it was like a way I would find of making a person feel good about themselves. But don't we all have somebody in our family, or maybe everybody, where they tease? And we always say, well, that's just teasing. My uncle has never said, I'm proud of you. But when he calls me a fat little turd, that's him just reminding me that he does care. Or when your uncle calls you gay for having an earring. Or when people Michael got this a lot. You draw a really complicated cartoon of something and people go, what kind of drugs were you on when you did this? No, I'm just kidding. The teasing part isn't really humor. They're not really trying to make the mood light and funny. Sometimes the teasing really is just to knock you off your pedestal. Teasers are jealous people. People like to tell a story that kind of humbles you. They're doing it because they think you're too pretty. They see you happy, and that makes them mad. That's what narcissistic abuse is called, or looks like. That's one little part of it. A narcissist, or a teaser, is somebody who they're jealous. And they don't even mean that as a compliment. They don't want you to know they're jealous. But the problem is a lot of girls, because it is just girls. We don't call guys. Well, there are a lot of these weird Indian guys who can't talk. You met those guys? Oh, he's just a silent type. We call him Chief. What? Those guys, I guess, are Indianish. But for girls, most of it is they've just been teased so much, and maybe you're like this, that they're self-conscious. They don't want somebody laughing at them. So they're not going to share their talents. They're not going to say something brilliant. They're not going to shine or be pretty or confident, because they learn that just gives their narcissist fuel. You know? Narcissist, and here's the thing. It took me many moons before I realized they know it. On some level, they know what they're doing. And they're not really sorry. So, this has been Auntie Natasha's moment of wisdom. What? Yeah, I know I said I was going to pray, but I didn't want to forget about what I was saying. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO! Hello, birds. Today's Ojibwe word of the day. Agwaching, outside. And Beneshiyug, birds. Well, Beneshiyug, I got a mahjong. It's time to leave the music. But how do we get rid of this? There we go. But I'll be back again tomorrow. I think. Probably. Gigawabamin, Minawa. I will see you again. Alright. Boop, 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 boop. Bleep, bleep. Bleep, bleep. Bonjour. Hi, sweetie. Hi, you ready to come in? Yeah, can you pick me up? You got it. And that's 1 to teleport. Make it sound over 1. No. Hey, baby doll. Well, hi. How was it outside? Oh, it's beautiful. Had to talk about how teasers are actually creeps. You think teasers are creeps? Yeah, I don't think they're narcissists. It's abuse. And so Indianish should have been our Ojibwe word of the day. Indianish is, you don't have to be like that, guys. Don't let the teasers make you feel self-conscious. You can do it, girls. It's time to leave the music. What do you think, Michael? I think that's pretty good. Yeah, okay. Should we call it a show? We can call it a show. All right. You want to add anything? I'm good. Okay. Hey, everybody. Just want to say, miigwech, gabizendawieg. Thank you for listening. Dash miigwech ganawabieg, and thank you for watching. BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. My name is Natasha. This over here is NANABOOZHOO. Okay, miigwech. And this over here is Michael Lyons. BOOZHOO, Michael Lyons. Say hello. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Gigawabamin, Minawa. Gigawabamin, Minawa. Oh, no. It's time to shut off the live